back to read my dialogue, boy. After 4,000 years, the Hasashi bloodline still lives on. When I heard that for the first time when I watched it on the big screen, I didn't even understand what he said there. When I watched it over with the subs on, I was like, wait, what? That's what he said. Then I run it back like three times, boy. The delivery was so bad, boy. And is the accent that really threw it off, boy. But just that line though, like this is what you're gonna give this guy to see after 4,000 years. The Hisashi bloodline still lives on. You're supposed to expect me to for it to sound convincing to me just off of his accent. Like it just didn't work. Like once again, I don't know if it's just the accent or he needed vocal coaching or whatever it is. It just didn't work, by. Next thing that didn't work, by we boy Kung Lao when he get his soul sucked by Shang Tsung, because yeah, now he finally show his powers, right? There's a moment I didn't even pick up on it, right? A little nitpick in here where Liu Kang is like, no! And he says, Shang Tsung! But he says it like that, no. But they do the whole, no! Shang Tsung! And it sounds horrible, though. But yeah, anyway. But yeah, Kong Lao get his soul suck, and Liu Kang is like, no, and all that kind of stuff. And Reed ends up, retreating and taking everybody to the void. So, MK fans, you all have to tell me if this thing exists, could he say is a portal between Earth realm and his world? Okay, it's just them in a green room, I guess, but whatever. But Lou's saying, but Lou's drop a line where he says, without Kung Lao, Earth realm is lost. I want to process that for a minute, right? Like how? So because he dead, Earth realm is lost. Like
So what he
Maybe
trying
they,
to
they
say,
consider he's the best fighter among
yeah, that's what
them,
he trying
kind
to
of
say. The
thing.
rest all is shit. So if you do have Kong now, you definitely lose the tournament. That's what it is in a nutshell, you know.
And,
Because
and,
okay,
and, and
remember,
makes
other
sense.
than Liu Kang and Kong Lao, nobody else there was really a fighter.
Hmm. Not
I guess,
to
but
that, I guess not to the extent to be in Mortal Kombat, you know.
yeah, it's just the not the line delivery so much. It's just the writing though, just didn't work. I will give credit to it. I like Cole plan of basically saying, you just split up, you just kind of, well, Cole by basically telling, yo, do you have the power to take anybody from one place to another, or whatever it is? And he's like, yeah, you know what I mean. And basically, it's just bringing these villains into uh an arena, so to speak, of their choosing. And this was the moment where I was like, okay, now they actually trying to be like the games, you know what I mean? Like where you have different stages and different places, all that kind of stuff. Like, okay. A little too late, but all right, okay, yeah, you know what I mean? I was like, but I have to commend him for that, though. The Jack's fatality moment with Rico was decent, with him, pretty much smashing his face in, sorry, his head in. You know what I mean? It was cool, but then again, how they set up Rico is just this dumb big guy with a large hammer anyway. So it's like, well, nobody really cares, right? You know what I mean? Uh,
Is that how he is in the game with a large hammer? Is that is that
So
Not
Rico,
exactly
Rico,
like that.
Rico's supposed to kind of be Shao Kahn, or at least a version of him is.
Oh, okay.
Kinda, I ain't really sure, but yeah, he have a hammer. Mortal Kombat,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, but the biggest
Which
problem,
one was it? Mortal, which number?
Four, I think.
he came in four,
Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
and
he
he
was
was there
there.
after that. But
Yes, I
my
remember.
biggest problem with that fight scene in the movie is that it takes place on the bridge with the spikes below it.
Yeah,
And that's how you finish the fight.
And they don't use it, yeah, they don't
yeah,
use
they
it.
Hmm.
use the spikes.
I
Yeah,
mean, you take the time to put them to a recognizable stage, do a stage fatality.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That,
And to me, this is like a big flaw with the movie. Well, not as big as all that, but to me, a missed opportunity trend. You have a R-rated trend. You're telling people this going to be the bloody Mortal Kombat movie you all want to see. But I felt it just could have gone a little further. Now, I understand maybe behind the scenes, oh, we don't want to get an NC-17 rating slapped on
Yes,
it.
apparently they
But
did
this is
that.
Mortal Kombat movie, Trent. Come
Apparently
on,
they
give us
did,
the
and they were
goods.
forced to edit it down to an hour.
Yeah. Like, you know what? So much guilty pleasure, so bad it's good movies. Give us gore, like really give us blood, like give us the works. This one was like, all right, we'll just give you blood and go in some spots, really, but not really all that for you to be like, oh my god, this movie is excelling on the level I wanted it to be. It's just like, well, this moment happened, and all right, kind of bloody, but you kind of forget about it afterwards, right? Like, Jax's fatality, I should say. Speaking of fatalities, wait, all right, so I know fans could love the fact that Lukaku do the lightning kick and the animality, when he kills Kabal, but to me it did feel in my opinion. I'll explain what I mean. In the original film, the original Mortal Kombat movie, right? Remember, Lukaku was just pretty much just doing his stuff, right? He was just fighting all that, right? But near the end where he's about to stop Shanks or once it's involved, and Reptile comes in, and Reptile pushes him to the Baxter, and then he comes in now and real pushes himself, and that's when you do the lightning kick there. So at that moment, you feel it, you feel the exhilaration here. There. Here it's just, oh, they kill my friend or my cousin or whatever. So yeah, lightning kick for you. And I'm supposed to be like, oh my god, he did a lightning kick. It's just like, no, it just kind of came out of nowhere. Same thing with the animality. It just came out of nowhere, literally. All right, you have powers and okay, flame powers and shitty VFX and all that kind of stuff. But now all of a sudden you doing this. Where does come out from all of a sudden? And you tell me the thing that pushed you though to do all this stuff out of the blue is because Kung Lao died. It just didn't feel progressive in my opinion in terms of the character of Liu Kang, poorly
I
fleshed
tell
out
you,
as he was.
Kung Lao is his life partner, boy. That's why it hurt him so much.
I would be surprised, but
Watch it again with that in
like,
mind.
I bet you
like
don't
my
agree with
God, this man
Actually, the
propel
more
you
you
to do the
talk about
animality
it,
shit.
the more it seems like he was crushing hard on Kung
That's
Lao.
what I'm saying. I mean,
You-
you know that excuse when you get catch with your Honor man or your Honor woman, it's be like, nah, that's my cousin. That was my cousin, though.
Oh, and speaking of Kung Lao, Liu Kang just had to be the one to say fatality for Kung Lao. Like, aha, aha, aha. Let's see what you did there. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that
that
was
was
that was
shot.
one of the moments like they were going through the movie after when the editing process was like, okay, here, stick in this reference here, stick in this here, stick in this there. We gotta do our fan service sticking.
Yeah,
There's
it
no heart, there's no passion. I mean, you can tell that the people who made this movie don't give a crap about the franchise. They're just like, hey, this is a cool franchise. Let's do something with it. But there's no love for the franchise in this movie. I'm sorry.
yeah. Anyway, we wrap it up, right? We get into, well, what could have been a great scene, right? But I'll get to that in a bit. So Sonya boy. So all right. So in hindsight, I kind of like how they build the fight between her and Kido, right? I would not have expected the final confrontation to take place in this in her house, basically, right? But they kind of make it work in a kind of, okay, this guy invaded my house. I'm a fighter, right? Even though, to be fair, he was just brought into her house just so my read, right? So I like the whole part with her going in the bathroom and doing well, kind of grappling her with the legs, all that kind of stuff was cool, right? I didn't really like how he died with that gun no being stuck in his eye. That made no sense to me. But the thing that really really run me up though, not even 5 minutes read, all of a sudden she get powers. Not even 5 minutes. That
The
she
movie
kill
was running
that
out
she
of
kill
time.
Kano. Yeah, that she kill Kano
So
and get the Akana, sorry, get the logo. All of a sudden you have powers.
Because
I was
she
like,
explained
oh,
all that.
that's already, yeah,
I guess it's a gift. That's what she say. Oh,
yeah.
I guess I got no. It's a gift from Kano or something like that. Like, I know the movie wrapping up, Jim, but oh God, man, really, 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 movie. Come on. I don't know if you all have any thoughts on that whole Sunny getting powers, like just so.
Honestly, at that point, you kind of just be like, okay, so this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's really one of those moments though. So now we get to the big fight though, and this is well, evil psycho Sub-Zero, right? Who kidnaps Cole's pretty much bland family, right? And freezes them. Although to be fair, I do like the fact that he didn't like stick a ice blade through them like what he did with Scorpion's family. So it's like okay, but looking at it again, looking at the scene again, it's kind of weird though that your final battleground dread is the actual gym that Cole was introduced in. I watch this scene and like, wait a minute, but that's the gym dread. That's the actual gym. Like, and the man frees the entire interior of the gym. Okay, it looked cool, but why?
Look cool.
Why the gym?
This
You
brings
you are
up.
Sub-Zero Dread. You can have Shang Tsung basically put you in any place in wherever realm and wherever. You could have done it in Outworld. You picked the man gym?
Yeah,
Well,
but
we done match up the house like up to the gym.
but remember, this is the same Sub-Zero who decide, you know what? I'm just gonna make it snow. So apparently he just loves using his powers randomly and there's no limit on it. So he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go in this gym and I'm just gonna freeze every damn thing for no
Yeah,
particular reason other than it's gonna look cool.
yeah, because no lie, it looked cool, but why this place though? But now we get to the moment that almost stick me onto the movie trend. So all right, so we blood hero Cole fighting Sub Zero again, yeah, it's watch all that kind of stuff, and then Scorpion shop. Okay, Scorpion shop. He was hinting at it, he came from the Nether realm and all that kind of stuff, right? But is the line he says, Dread, I have risen from hell to kill you. Think about this for a sec, right? Came from hell to kill Sub Zero. All right. So your descendant right there get the ass wash. All right. Okay. So you pretty much come to save him and all that stuff, right? So where were you when Guru was about to kill him, John? Where were you all that time? Just stay waiting, like, well,
We're still
when
on the
Sub
gate
Zero
from
when Sub
hell.
Zero show up, I'll come in then. You know what I mean? Because Sub Zero is the man who killed me. So I had to go for him. But Goro was right there about to kill the person with your bloodline. You just like they waited like for what exactly?
He never
Well,
said he was
yeah,
back to protect his bloodline, eh? He was
well, I
back
think
to kill Sub-Zero.
yeah, but I think wasn't didn't Scorpion come back to life when Cole
When his
squeezed
blood
the
went on
kunai
the
and
kunai.
bled?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so he kind of
No,
Exactly.
well oh he did. Okay,
yeah, he
Yeah.
did
swear
squeeze it.
Yeah.
I swear that was
When
just a
Okay.
vision, in her.
No,
no,
I
when
no.
swear
Cole's
that was a
blood
vision.
went on the kunai, that is what
That is
reactivated
what
the kunai.
Yeah,
reacted. Yeah.
while he was fighting
Oh.
Sub-Zero, he did that.
Okay,
Yeah.
well now that makes a little bit more sense because I was
Okay.
like, you could have killed him at any given point in time,
No,
come
yeah.
back
It was
and
a
do
blood
it. But
thing.
I
Yeah.
guess, yeah. Oh, that's
All
cool.
right, they could have established a little better, in my opinion, but all right, okay.
It's a kind of
Yeah,
a blink and you miss it kind of something.
yeah, it's one of that though. And oh, I do love the fact also that characters in Earth Realm know who Sub Zero is. Like I was trying to remember if Shang had said who Sub Zero's name was, when he was in Raiden's temple, because all of a sudden people know, hey, it's Sub Zero. You know what I mean, it's what again one of those nitpicky things, right? But yes, the fight between real Scorpion and Sub Zero was dope though. I kind of didn't like how he used the fire beam thing, you know what I mean, from his mouth near the end. Because like, okay, I learned all these powers from hell, but I don't know, I like I understand they just wanted to have it without the mask, but I felt it would have worked with the mask on, and then he just pull it off and he does it. I felt that would have worked better. Like that scene, we should have seen the skull, but kind of set it
We
up a
should have
little
seen
better, in my opinion.
I
I think they killed one of the most iconic images from the Mortal Kombat franchise by doing it the way they did.
Oh, you mean with the skull? Yeah, I understand,
Yeah.
understand.
Even the
I
Yeah,
classic movie did it with the skull.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
They did. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, it's it,
For,
it's it. Yeah, go ahead, Summer.
no, I was just saying, for me, the funny thing with that fight scene for me was every time Cole got involved in the fight, I would lose interest. Every time it was Sub Zero and Scorpion, I would perk up.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
I love
I
like
mean,
ever so often he will
it
just
was,
duck out and
yeah,
try to see if like try to chip away the ice from with the family and all that
yeah,
kind of stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
I was shocked they were still alive, though. That was
no,
just,
no,
me
as
too.
exactly because
yeah.
I mean they look dead, so
They
they
looked
don't look
I
really
know,
physically.
dead.
I know.
Yeah,
And
I was
and
like,
and, and
are they alive?
Sub Zero, Sub Zero being the psycho that he is, I thought, well, not wishing any will on a fake blonde character. But I thought he would actually like a white, like kill the family, but he's like, no, 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 I'm just gonna freeze him here, and you're gonna come to me because I'm Sub-Zero.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
two
moved like a real
nitpicky
classic
things.
Batman villain there, boy.
Yeah, two nitpicky things I have about that fight scene. First of all, as we was talking about that thing with when Cole bleed on the kunai, um, if you watch the shot, right, you remember he have on his armor thing, right? His armor is all on the palm of his hand, yet the kunai cut his hand, which
Oh
makes no sense,
yeah.
right? That's one. But let me put that aside because they needed a plot device to get Scorpion into the fight. The other thing is, in this epic fight between two of the greatest ninjas of all time, man had to take off his master talk, Jed.
Yeah.
I know, right?
What nonsense is that?
Or was
Yeah,
it just a talk, or was it just to remind Bihan of what it is that he was saying at the when he got killed, when he told him, "Remember your face,"
No,
and
it
then he
happened
takes it off
multiple
again to
times
things.
within the
Yeah,
fight.
yeah, they
Well,
did
well, I
keep
mean,
taking
yeah.
it off and putting it back on over and over again. I wasn't sure about that either. I kept wondering why did he keep having to take it off? Is it that it would fall off if he was trying to talk with it on, like how our own masks tend to droop down while you're talking too much underneath your mask? I
Another
was
thing, if you're
wondering about
taking
that.
it off to remind him of your face or whatever, take it off and leave it off. Why put it on and then take it off again and put it back on? It's like, what the hell going on?
Well, that's the
Yeah.
thing. I think they wanted to kind of have the cake and eat it, where like, okay, we want to see the actor emote, but we still want to have him with the mask most of the time, and we want to do the Scorpion fatality, but we don't really want to rip off the face, so you kind of have the face kind of look like a skull, but not. It's like decide on one bloody thing. Oh gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So now we get to the ending of the movie at long last, right? So right after the fight, Cole save the family, everything is all cool. Heroes show up and all that kind of stuff, and then Shang Tsung show up, right? And while Reedon show up is like, oh, you attacked by fighters, blah 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 blah, all these different things, right? And then Shang Tsung say, well, next time I see you, I won't bring warriors, I will bring armies. And my God, that guy's delivery, boy, woof. But anyway, my thing is, right, there's no mention of the tournament at that point. Like, I would understand why he says, you know what, when the tournament come, I will defeat you, something along that line, some cheesy like that there. But no, you know what I mean? Like literally in the next episode of Mortal Kombat, I'm gonna bring armies. No mention of the tournament. Not even really say anything about the tournament. It's just, well, you know what I mean? You bring your fighters, and my fighters will beat all the fighters, right? And that's it. No, whenever the tournament happens, it happens, right? Because whatever, right?
And
Because he's a god, whatever.
yeah. And the
Jesus.
thing is, the tournament is to prevent realms from invading other realms. So you can't bring armies because of that. That's the rules. So I mean, they are just making up stuff as they go along.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do
It's
it, Red.
insulting to the intelligence. I'm sorry.
Yeah, even worse though is when Rin say, "Oh, there will be more enemies to fight, so I must assemble a new list of champions, and y'all have to go and find them for me because you know what, I'm a god, and I can't do nothing because movie, right?" So yeah, now this is the excuse now that the movie gives us in the end, in the sort of MCU mid credit scene, basically, which isn't technically, where we get the reveal that, oh, in the next movie we're going to see Johnny Cage, right? And I feel so sorry, Dred, in that moment for people who went into this movie not knowing who these characters are. I felt so sorry for them, Dred, because you hear the music kick up, right? The remix of Techno Syndrome. And I was expecting, like, well, when I saw it in cinema, it's just like four people there. But I was expecting, oh, well, maybe if audiences see, like full audiences, like that pack house would see it, they would have like erupt now when they see, it's Johnny Cage off the poster. But like, nope, it's just dumb. It's just fan service. It makes no sense. Even right now, to not even show any fees, which I mean is a nitpick, but still, like, how am I supposed to feel excited by this when technically Johnny Cage should have been in the film all along? Just saying.
Yep.
Yeah, like, how am I supposed to feel excited for this trend? And you play the
Honestly, the,
music in the
the,
background to make me feel like, oh my god, this is
the
gonna be
only
so
way
incredible.
the only way I could see Johnny Cage making me excited in the sequel is if they cast Jean-Claude Van Damme. That's
Ooh,
honestly the
well,
only way I'll be excited about it.
nah, they had to cast somebody younger, but
I
he
know,
could play like his
but
dad or
that's how I
something.
say it. If
Right,
that's
right,
the
right.
only thing that could sufficiently get me excited about seeing it in the sequel,
What do you
right?
think about fans voting for The Miz to be Johnny Cage?
The Miz is literally Johnny Cage in the real world,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
He patterned himself after Johnny Cage. But the reason
yeah.
why Van Damme would be, more interesting is because that's who the original character was designed after.
That's
Because the
right.
first Mortal Kombat game, they wanted Jean Claude Van Damme they wanted to make a Jean Claude Van Damme fighting game, right? And
Which
at the
would have
time,
been
he was doing something that
epic.
he could not have been in the game, or he didn't want to be in the game, or whatever. So they ended up doing this other idea, which turned out to be Mortal Kombat. And they cast a
Oh,
character named Johnny Cage that has the same initials as Jean Claude, right?
right.
He's literally supposed to be their parodied version of Jean Claude Van Damme. Because
That's
at
what
the
Right,
the
right.
time,
split
The
Van
is
the
Damme was
split
about.
that
the
he
biggest
does.
action star.
Okay,
That's
okay.
why he does his split there, because
Yeah,
Oh, that's fair.
that was what
the split nut punch thing is
yeah.
Van Damme, right? So that's what I'm saying. That's the only thing as a fan of the games that would get me excited about seeing it. If it's just a generic actor playing Johnny Cage, then I'm just gonna get more of the same bullshit again this one. So why wanna see it for?
Yeah. So last thing last before we get to final thoughts and Rita, right? The music. The Techno Syndrome remix, right? So when I first heard it, I was like I was digging it. I was digging it, right? But I more looked at it as okay, this is clearly going to be the music that plays when you see the title sequence before the credits roll, and that's exactly what they do here. So while I don't particularly like love the song, I think the song is fine as what it is. It's as good of a remix as you'll get. It'll be very EDM, we get the drops and everything, so it kind of works, right? And I actually do like the visual aspect of that sequence, though, using the blood to pretty much shape the characters, designs and all that kind of stuff. Like that was cool. That was cool. But I felt ultimately kind of cheat the audience though, because once again, you're trying to tell people, oh, this is gonna be a hard R, and this is gonna be really bloody, but it wasn't really. See, emphasizing on the blood so much, but I seen blood in the scene, but I didn't really find the movie to be that bloody, though. You know what I mean? And sorry to say, I mean, like, and when you know, into the music itself, right? The iconic theme song. What made it work, right? Well, the old one work outside of how awesome it is, right? For a 90s song, it's how you would hear it like a few times in the movie. If you listen closely in, the score for this, you'll just hear like a tut, 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 like very in the background, though, but it's not prevalent in the movie, right? So I felt like that was like a missed opportunity there. It's almost like the movie was just like, well, we can't do it like how that film did, so we had to do it our own way. But it felt like it just had the essence like sucked out. And last thing I will say though, speaking of essence sucked out, right, is one of those things that is only like when I was on my way home, I picked up on it, right? If you all notice, right, when you see the title Mortal Kombat, right, do you see the logo?
Uh, I didn't really notice.
The logo is not there. Outside of them mentioning the logo, and you just see it like some poorly lit, tattoo on people, shoulders or whatnot. You do not see the logo really. It wasn't prevalent in the movie until the end. After you see the reveal of the poster, that's when you see it. And to me, that kind of summed up the movie for me, Trey, where it's just like, oh, right, you remember the games used to have this dragon logo thing, so we kind of have to show it, or else people will get mad at us. So I just felt like they just dropped that in to be like, it's the same movie, so there it is. And that's what I mentioned in my spoiler-free review. That's the image, that's the iconic thing that I felt they just kind of brought up just after the fact, basically. And to me, I felt that it just betray what the show is about, what the games are about. Because, yeah, I mean, it's just a logo, right? Okay, cool. If you remember in the old film, when they went to the island, the boat itself, the ship itself that took them to the island, or ever so often when they're on the island, you would just see like these flags and you would see the dragon logo there. So that to me, I could be wrong, represents the tournament. But it felt like, oh well, this one isn't really about the tournament, so we just would have the logo there until the very end now of the movie when credits roll in to get people excited. But to me, I was just like, nah, boy, that to me is like that to me felt like you just stab people, you stab fans in the back with with just that moment. I could be wrong, maybe I just overrated things, but I just felt like that, just having that logo, that classic iconic logo show up in the end of your movie, Dread, is just like, nah, boy, it just didn't work for me. I don't know if you guys agree on that.
I'm gonna start with the music because we're talking about the music. I had the soundtrack. I have a thing there in terms of the what they calling the updated version. And I looked at it and I was like, I listened to it and I thought to myself, that is more dubstep syndrome than techno syndrome.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
halfway through it, I was like, I think, because it starts off and you get the vibe of techno syndrome from 1995. But listening to it over again, I wasn't too keen about it. So it's for me, even the soundtrack itself is very middle of the road, and I'm not really a big fan of that. So for me, I was like, okay, I'll listen to it once and get rid of it off of my playlist. That is a heights for me. And then in terms of like logo and that kind of stuff, I legitimately it glossed over my whole head towards the end. I mean, I did enjoy that bit there of the with the credits rolling over the blood and you get to see the silhouettes of the characters. I did enjoy. I thought that was pretty cool. But at this point, the ship had already sailed. It was fun, but it
Agreed.
wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It really wasn't something that I think I would want to rewatch. So I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
whatever.
And that's why, like, for me, like, when I saw what I was watching in theaters, like when the credits were rolling, I didn't feel that exhilaration there, you know what I mean? And I partly blame it on the music there. Like, think about it, sorry, like an MCU film, like when you hear the Avengers theme, when you hear it two, three, four times in the film, so when the credits roll, you hear it one more time, you just feel it like, yes, I've been through this experience. No, now you just drop in techno syndrome, I ain't supposed to get excited. Like, it's just those little things, Shred, that could really bring down the enjoyment factor of the movie.
You
But yeah, guys,
know what sort
yeah,
of
go on.
no, no, just very random thing here. Like I remember sitting down in Power Rangers. And when the major fight started, I got like 10 seconds of the Go-Go Power Rangers Mighty Morphin. You heard the voices singing it. And for that
Right.
split, I really thought that they were going to expand on that and make like a whole the fight sequence with that. And then they just kind of dipped it into whatever random piece of music that they had scored for it. And I thought that was a complete waste of a viable theme. And that's kind of how I feel here with Mortal
Yeah.
Kombat.
The logo didn't really bother me because, as we said, by that point, that ship had sailed and I was already checked out of this film. So I didn't really give a shit about the logo. Um, and in terms of the music, I think one of the things that made the original theme so iconic is not just the music itself, but the fact that they used the sound effects from the game, right? It was very closely tied to the game. And this newer version is like, nah, it just like the movie. It didn't really have no ties to anything. It's just its own thing, very
Yeah.
derivative. So it's like it never really did anything for me. Whereas the original song, you kind of, when you listen to it, you kind of flash back to memories of playing the game and the excitement you will get from being in the arcade. At least for me, that's how I feel
Yeah,
whenever
yeah.
I hear the original song. So that
You're
was
right,
the
you're
only
right.
thing for me in terms of this new song. I never liked it as much as the original. For that reason, is that it doesn't evoke any positive memories or anything like that to me. And it ultimately is just a flat remix for the sake of remixing.
Yeah, so for as a whole though, this was an absolute disappointment for me. It is worse now that this is this guy Simon with Quads, whatever his name is, debut feature. You know what I mean? I mean, on the one hand, I could appreciate the effort that they put into making this thing look sleek. You know what I mean, in terms of like the locations and just the cinematography and the fight choreography and just overall how the film looked. There, you know what I mean? But it just tried to cater to fans, but also try to cater to non-fans in the worst way too. So it just kind of just betrays both. I keep using the word betray, but that's the only one I can think of. Both. Both parties basically, and yeah, ultimately it just comes out to this forgettable video game movie that could have elevated, just that subgenre itself for a new decade. But unfortunately, when a movie that came out literally 26 years ago, sorry, still have so much greatness about it. And that movie wasn't even all that great to in retrospect. But in terms of what we're going for in terms of video game movie, I would still say is the best one. I mean, it's like, come on, Dre. Like it could have been it had to be easy to make a better film, Dre. And because of all the stuff and all the world building that the NetherRealm games did, you know what I mean? Like you could have pulled from that, Dre. But it says like, no, we're just gonna invent stuff up and half-ass stuff around the way and through little calls to get the fans excited to be like, oh, it's still a Mortal Kombat movie. But nah, this was totally something else for me. So my rating still remains a strong 2 out of 5. I would give it a light 2.5 out of 5 though for people, like especially fans, because I would tell people, yeah, watch it. Watch the show for yourself. You know what I mean? Like people will say it's bad or say it's good, but I would say watch a movie by yourself and you make the judgment. If you think this adaptation works for you, cool. Okay, much power to you. Do what you like, right? Like what Shock G of Digital Underground say. I mean, rest in peace to Shock G, by the way. But yeah, I mean, if you like this, fine. But I'm sorry, boy. This could have been so much better given not just the 26-year gap now between films. Yes, we excluded Annihilation out of this one, but just the game itself and just how it evolved into one of the best fighting games ever. You know what I mean? So yeah, this was a huge misfire in my opinion. Ricardo, quick thoughts on Return.
Yeah, as I say, this is one of those aspects of it of when Spider-Man had the blades in front of him and he was like, I'm so tired. Yeah, this was this for me. I was just like, I'm tired of this. I'm so bored. I'm fed up with this bullshit. They didn't do anything with it. It's shocking how they kind of come after, what do you call him? They actually come after the the Anderson film and still do worse than him somehow. Yeah, forgettable total, 4 out of 10 probably. I don't care. Moving on.
Okay, so Julian, final thoughts on Return of the movie.
Yeah, I what I could say that I haven't said already. This is just a major disappointment, and I mean, I was looking forward to it. I was like, hey, we finally getting actual fatalities, the actual R-rated Mortal Kombat movie, and I mean, all they had to do just do a basic, simple story, but they showed no respect for the franchise itself. They showed no respect for the original film, and it was just a little kind of casual fan service. But yeah, as I said before, I don't want to see this move forward. I think they need to scrap this and go back from the drawing board. This one is a 3 out of 10 for me.
Wow. I don't believe you for that rated, way. Tracy, final thoughts and Return.
Final thoughts. Here's my thing. In terms of for all the bad that this movie is, don't be surprised to see Hollywood feel up, and you will suddenly see the director Simon getting more jobs. This is basically a stepping stone. He's going to get more jobs. The screenwriters are going to get more jobs, and maybe you'll see a couple of the cast members in something from Marvel sooner or later. For me, I look at it as it's a stepping stone for them. For me, it's not something that I will go back and watch again or anytime soon. I'd have to be in a mood. I had a measure of fun, but at the same time, there's a lot of cons that outweighed the pros for me, and I'm already preparing what to wear to go and see Cruella. So with that in mind, I'm going to give it a 4 point. You know what? I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 10. And hope for the best. I do hope, because I'm seeing it's like 50% or something like that on Rotten Tomatoes. I do hope that if they do feel compelled to do a sequel, because unlike some of the other studios, Warner Brothers has a tendency of, oh, it's a problem, so let's never push forward and do better. If they do a sequel, that they get a different director, that they hire better writers, better writers, and a little bit more representative with the writers. Outside of that, I can't say that I'm going to be up looking at this movie. I'll probably go back and watch 95's original Mortal Kombat instead.
All right. Summer, quick thoughts. Sorry, final thoughts on Return.
Well, I'll say this. This is why I enjoy doing this. I definitely love hearing from true fans, because you see stuff that you may have stuff that I would have forgiven, you guys would just tear apart. And I completely see, and not that I did not see the errors before, but I see the errors glaringly now, and even stuff that I just kind of, it happened and I moved on. I see how that would completely piss you guys off, and I appreciate that. Um, I would say my final score would be a 5 out of 10 because it did still, I'm not going to pretend I wasn't entertained by this, but it's not a movie I would watch over again. I would definitely watch 95 over this again. I do, however, like Tracy, hope that they course correct. I know Julian doesn't want anything to do with this anymore, but I hope they course correct. I think that I did like some of what I saw here, and I feel like with definitely stronger writing is necessary, better directing, that somebody who could actually work with the actors and show them when, no, this line didn't work, you need to do it over again, that they could do something that the fans, the actual Mortal Kombat fans like you guys, would have something that you could be proud of. So for me, yeah, it would be a 5 out of 10. My score drops from 6.5 to 5 out of 10.
Right. Well, you're welcome for the score being dropped now in your case. And of course, last but not least, the man who really felt it the most way.
Yeah.
Final thoughts on rating, Michael.
I would honestly give this film a 2 out of 10. Would not recommend. To me, this is the M. Night Avatar of the Mortal Kombat universe. Let's just bury it and pretend it doesn't exist.
No,
Oh
wait.
my God.
Before I forget, do you, at least it's better than Annihilation, right?
Mildly.
Okay. Kai honestly thought that everybody could just all agree that it's way better than Annihilation.
Nah, not way better. I wouldn't say way better. It might be way better in terms of the cinematography and the visual effects, but story-wise and in terms of embodying the spirit of what Mortal Kombat is, it feels real hard. Even the fight choreography to me was uninspired and real boring for a show that cast so many people who supposedly are good fighters. So yeah, I don't think it was much better than Annihilation.
Wow, boy. So yeah, man, another L for Warner, right? So next up, we're supposed to be getting The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. So
Well, we
hey,
hope that one good.
I'm looking forward to that because in the Conjuring universe, the Conjuring movies have always been the best of the bunch. So, because
But the Conjuring movies have always been directed by James Wan.
I was about to
Until
say that.
now.
I was about to say that. So I'm worried, but at the same time, I hope James has had a very close part to play in the making of this because I am such a huge fan of the Conjuring films. Not the universe, the Conjuring films. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Warner, let me see what you have next first, man. So yeah. Hey, this is Matthew Bailey, and I hope you've enjoyed this segment of the BS Beats and Bailey podcast. If you'd like to hear the full episode, hit up my link tree. On the other side of my head are 2 videos you can check out. Like this video if you like it, feel free to subscribe and hit the bell as well. Thanks for listening, and until the next one, take care, peace.